There we go. What's going on, everybody? We're back. We haven't done this in a while, and we're doing another feature. So tonight we have got three very, 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 very awesome people that have taken the time to jump on Beer Buddy this evening, and we're going to be talking all things Scandal Tree. So please give it up, everyone, for Joe, Rip, and Grant from Scandal Tree. Boys, how are you?
Yeah, good.
Really good. Really good. Excited to be on here.
Mate, I'm so excited to have you. I was absolutely stoked with the latest release, or the latest EP, laying down your cards. Make sure I get that right. Guys, do tell. What's going on? Oh, Ivan. We've already got someone out on the chat. Ivan, he's an avid follower. How you going, Ivan? What's cracking, bro? All right. How are we all going tonight, gentlemen?
Yeah, not too bad. Pretty good, actually.
All right.
Pretty stoked. Yeah, we had a nice little jam session today, and yeah.
Good.
So,
good stuff.
Dusting off the cobwebs for the November show.
That's right. You guys got some shows coming up.
Yeah. So the main one is the White Ribbon Fundraiser that we've got going on. So on the 26th of November. So yeah, we haven't played in a little while, so we thought we'd dust off the cobwebs and get back into it and get nice and sharp again.
That's the way, man. So practice makes what is it? Practice makes not perfection,
Perfect,
improvement.
basically.
No, practice makes improvement. That's all it does. There's no such thing as perfection in music because you can always learn more.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah.
But yeah, so how are you guys finding the reception for the new EP, man? Because I dig it.
Yeah. So no, it's really good. Spotify reception's really good. Get a few sort of reviews together. So it's only early days with the Dropout. So we're coordinating it with the A&R department of Marshmallow Payment Records. So they're assisting with distribution and acquiring interviews and other bits and pieces to help promote the actual EP and whatnot. And this is our little sort of contribution to that, having a chat to you and getting it out there. So we're trying to do our own sort of stuff as well. So we're not just relying solely on this other sort of faction. So you've got to be proactive.
That's great, man. I really appreciate that, because this is what we try and do, or what I try and do here, we try and really promote the local stuff because it deserves so much more than what it actually gets on a regular basis.
Well, it is. It's a hard gig, man. I mean, live shows these days aren't what they used to be. It's a hard road to trudge. I mean, it's trying to get people out to a show these days. People are reluctant to buy pre-sale tickets, and everything's sort of really last minute now. It's and it's all very fickle. You don't know whether you're going to get people in the door last minute or what's going on. Back in the day, it was the thing that you did. I don't know, when I was a young fella, that's how you went and saw new music. It wasn't all this Facebook and digital media stuff. If you wanted to see new music, you'd go to local pubs and whatnot, and you'd see your local acts, and that's what the mentality and the sort of culture was. But it's all sort of changed a little bit nowadays. So it's a little bit more of a different angle that you've got to sort of chip at.
Yeah, it is unfortunate that you have to sort of putt away at these things in that sort of niche, because unfortunately it has become a digital thing now, and you can't just it's really sad that you can't just sort of putt away at the pubs. You really got to have that digital presence as well.
And that's what we're sort of learning. So, that's where we started. When we first started and we pulled it all together, we were playing gigs every couple of weeks and that. We thought, we'll get out there, get noticed that way. But as we've gone along, we've sort of realised that in order to make an inroads with any of this, you really got to be digital savvy and really get in there and throw it out there into the social media realm and into those sort of sections and get known in that sort of sphere. But yeah, I still love playing live, don't get me wrong. I don't care if there's no one in the room or not. But, I mean, I just love doing it. But, it's just a shame that sort of culture's sort of disappeared a little bit.
You can't see him anyway behind the kit.
Well, You're dead right though. Like, but having a look at your boys' numbers here on Spotify, quite clearly all that work you guys did putting away at the pubs has done something. Or you guys have got very good, very very good at the whole algorithm game.
Well, it's actually you had Talamade Rejects on not long ago, and is it Ryan? And yeah, I actually reached out to them and asked them a few pointers, and they sort of gave me a few tips, and I sort of went, oh, thanks, boys, and sort of followed a little bit of their advice. And now I've still got a bit more to learn and to go, because you're always learning in this game. I mean, like, I've been doing it since I was 17, and it's only just really now that I don't know about you guys, but, with my age and that, I've sort of really wanted to take more of a grasp and a hold of it. Before I just went along for the ride, but now I've realised that we can direct it ourselves. We don't have to curtail to someone else. We have the power to drive our own sort of journey these days. So
yeah, I think social, you can whinge about social media and digital things, but I think there's a lot of advantages to it as well. Yeah. You just, if you know how to harness it, you got that reach that you just didn't have in the old days, unless you had a record company or promotion or whatever.
Wow, that's exactly right. Well, no, Joe, go, please go.
I was just going to say, in a weird way, it would feel as if knowing, we've made it, is if someone in their TikTok video was doing a workout and a Scandal Tree song was played, and like,
we actually do have a TikTok one.
There you go.
Someone grabbed it. We're on TikTok with Bogan.
That's awesome. Are you serious? That man, because I love that song. I was listening to. I was jamming that out on the way home to work, or on the way home from work today. I had to work today, but yeah, I was jamming that out all the way home. But yeah. The only thing is, I just haven't got the long hair.
Yeah, we got to change the lyrics to that bald bloke or something. I don't know. It's it doesn't really fit anymore. No, none of us have got any hair unless I start wearing a wig or something.
Where'd you guys record the EP? I've got to say, one thing I did appreciate very much is the recording quality. The recording quality on your EP was very, very good. Unfortunately, Spotify seems to drop back a bit of your vocals. I noticed, because when I listen to it on Spotify and then I listen to the exact same track on YouTube, the vocals were heaps more forward. That's just fucking shit compression from Spotify. We all know about that. But well, man, I just got this thing. Spotify should be giving out a range of specs that everyone should sort of record at, because at the end of the day, Spotify's got the hold on the situation. Because if there's one thing that pisses me off with Spotify, and if anyone agrees with me on the chat, please say, is when I've got my fucking my car cranked out max and the volume drops on a song, and it's a song that I like, and I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing, man? It's compression. Just make it all one fucking level. It can't be that hard.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well,
you wouldn't think so anyway, but here we are.
Yeah, but where did you record it? The recording on that EP is phenomenal.
Oh, mate, it's a good mate of ours, an absolute legend, Nick Carpenter, out at Core Studios on the Gold Coast. We did some research and I did some looking into it, and a couple of other bands actually suggested him, and we went in there and recorded Nothing to Lose, and just the whole experience, like he's just an ultimate, he's just the professionalism, and he just makes you feel at ease.
A lot of good bands like Piston Fist and Speed Racer.
Aversion's Crown is another one. They're bigger over in Europe. He was saying to me that they came back to Australia and they could walk the streets because no one really knew who they were. And they record there, and they go overseas, and it's a different kettle of fish altogether. So
Piston Fist have been mentioned on this street on the podcast a couple of times. So they're fairly reputable. So I mean, if you're recording there, I mean, like it's playing in the background now. The recording is just.
Yeah, well, he was in a bit of his history was he was in a band back in the day called Devolved. He was the vocalist for Devolved. I'm not sure if you remember them, but they toured with Machine Head and their background stuff. And he actually beat out the vocalist from Machine Head and Tool for best vocalist. I can't remember what year off the top of my head, but he actually He's only just released a new single himself. He was working with someone in LA. So I said, how'd you work that one out? I mean, like, you know, I just figure, you know, you get blokes in the room to write things, but there again, you know, the digital sphere, you know, you're writing music with someone across the other side of the world. It's amazing,
mate. It will. One thing that I really liked about. Well, I'm just going to continue talking about the recording here, just because the quality is just fuck. I just can't get over the quality of it. The way, well, you guys promote yourself as a Alice in Chains, and you guys really do bring that noise, that old school grunge. I love it, because as soon as I sort of got a couple of the EP tracks, I knew exactly what I was in for. And you guys hit that point really well. Did you guys walk into the recording studio with a real? Was it all laid out? Did you do the pre-production stuff, or did you walk in there and do? Did the guy that recorded you? Sorry, I can't remember his name.
Nick.
Did Nick just come in and produce the whole thing? You guys laid out all the tracks, and he just tweaked them a bit, or how did that process come about?
Well, we went in and we laid the tracks down, I guess, and then we sort of had a look at it and had a listen back, and we tweaked it back and forth if there was any extra ideas or other thoughts that we could put in there. You know, he was really helpful with piecing it all together and the odd suggestion here and there, and so it was a real collaboration, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think we didn't really go in with like saying we want to sound like this band or whatever.
No.
He'd just say, you know, get your guitar sound and record a scratch track, and then we just build it up from there. So, yeah, I wouldn't say we went in with a real didn't give him reference tracks of.
Okay, because you guys do what I call raw dogging. You guys do it the old school way.
Yeah, well,
that sounds us. Old school.
Yeah, the raw dogging old school way, where there's no pre-production done, all the work's done in the studio. You guys nut it out, and you guys pretty much have it 90% done before you guys walk in there. When you walk in there, it's just the producer just goes, we need to either add something, take this part out, and they really just sort of set it out a bit better. Did the songs change a lot?
Long Goodbye did a little bit, because we had there was a long bass solo in there that we just, it just wasn't
didn't
real
quite fit, did it? But
it sounded okay live, but when you listen on the record, it was a bit long.
Yeah.
Totally, and immediately followed by a bass solo.
Do you still do it live?
Yeah.
Good.
So get rid of that.
As long as you still do it live, because you don't want that whole thing of it sounding exactly the same as what it did on the EP all the time. You've got to add those little bits and pieces and something that people come for.
I don't know. We're a bit like the Grateful Dead, aren't we? Is it always the same every time we play? I don't think so.
That's good.
Yeah.
We have a bit of fun, man. We get up on stage, and that's what it's about. You're giving the audience an experience that they can listen to a CD or Spotify anytime and get that experience. But when they come out and watch it live, it's the mistakes that they're looking for and how you recover from them. I mean, like, that's, you know, you're a human, so to be able to just nut it out like that, I mean, you know, throw it in there and make it a little bit different.
Oh, you are old school, brother. I feel the exact same way. That's what I go to the shows for. I want to hear those mistakes.
Yeah, and how you pull yourself out of it. It's you know.
Oh.
What about
and sometimes just the little jokes which are very unique to a particular show. I remember the last gig we did, we were introducing the song marijuana to use a turn of phrase.
you can say it. Marijuana, it's all good here.
I interjected oh yes, and then I interjected something. I said, oh, "Are you talking about drugs?" It was a amusing little thing.
They're everywhere. It's rock and roll, baby. Come on.
Yeah.
Drugs everywhere.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's fun. It's fun stuff to play. I mean, like, let's be honest. I mean, I can just get up there and I don't have to. I'm not thinking about, you know, mathematical bloody technical crap. Or, you know, do a double kick here, click it here. You know, I get up there and I can really enjoy myself. I mean, I mean, I played in a band many moons ago where it was double kick and very much mathematical, but I didn't really enjoy it at the end of the day. It just sucked the life out of me and the songs. It's just, yeah, I don't know.
So
That's not like rock and roll. That's hard rock stuff.
So Grant, Joe, and Rip, the trio that we've got here at the moment. So we got Rip. You're the drummer in the top right.
Yeah,
we got Grant.
Right here.
We got the Grant at the bottom. You're the guitarist, aren't you, Grant?
Yeah, one of them. Yeah,
one of them. You're one of the
Very
guitarists.
nice.
Yeah.
I played most of the lead.
Yeah, nice. Well, I'd expect in that Zeppelin shirt.
yeah.
and we have Joe, the bass player, as well. Just to give everyone a little bit of reference out there that's watching tonight. Now, we'll start off with Joe. How long?
Yes.
How long have you been playing for? Give us the details. Give us a little bit of history of what makes the bassist Joe from Scandal Tree.
What makes me from Scandal Tree?
Yeah.
Ooh, well, I've been with the band for a couple of months. I think it was around August, September. I joined, and I've only been playing bass for about a year. And before that, back in school, I started off as a drummer and percussionist, and then I picked up some harmonica.
Yeah, I feel a bit of judgment sometimes.
Oh yeah.
He's a bass player. There's always got to be judgment.
Me and he stares at me going, what the hell are you doing? Why you put that thing in there?
It's only because he can't find a bass riff for it.
and you know, acoustic and electric guitar, some ukulele, but it was really good to be able to add bass to the arsenal. And I mean, I've enjoyed bass, well, just hearing bass for many years, and just trying to explore the idea where the bass, and this is probably goes back to the percussion drumming background, where I see it as a rhythmic instrument, really working with the drummer, but then also exploring ideas of having it as a counter melody instrument, as opposed to simply, not simply just playing the root notes in straight quarter notes, A, D, 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 but exploring syncopation, throwing in some fifths, some sixths, some high runs, and I think it's a wonderful thing. Well, just to be able to play with other people, because you pick up a lot, and it feels great to almost be part of a gang, really, because when you're on stage, it almost feels as if time just stops, and it's like, here we are. Not whatever else is going on in the world just doesn't matter, or doesn't exist anymore, even for just those 30, 40 minutes, 2 hours, however long the show goes for.
Mate, you're a proper muso, aren't you? You like what training have you had?
Well, the only formal training I've had was with my rudiments back in the day.
Classically trained drummer?
No,
or jazz drummer?
I'd probably say, a bit of classical and jazz probably crept into it a little bit, I suppose. And I mean, I took a couple of singing lessons and got some guitar lessons on sort of blues soloing, but mainly I've been self-taught, and it's just been continuing to listen to a lot of records and a lot of diverse records, and try and get all these ideas and go, well, how can I incorporate that into what I'm trying to do? And
I don't know.
Look, I may as well. Look, I'll expand upon that just in terms of some of the stuff I like to listen to. I mean, there's a lot of punk I like, the Saints and the Clash and the Sex Pistols, but then there's a lot of the the great music from the '60s, Beach Boys, and
Oh,
and the Poppers, Loving Spoonful, Yardbirds, Kinks, and then there's even a lot of like great 20th century experimental classical composers. So Karlheinz Stockhausen, Edgar Varese, Terry Riley, and then you've got the original masters: Chuck Berry, Muddy Waters, Howling Wolf, and there's even a lot of comedy recordings I love. Richard Pryor and George Carlin. Listening to some of those old radio shows of the Goons, it's
dude, you have a very diverse palette of music. I guess is the best way to describe it. You're very. I like that, so rock's always obviously been a thing. Is like this grunge rock sort of a thing that you've always enjoyed, or is this sort of something newish?
Well, the funny thing is, I hadn't listened to Nirvana's album Nevermind until maybe 10, 12 years ago, and I remember I really, really liked it, and it was only in the past 10 years I started to listen to some Soundgarden and Alice in Chains. I think the thing... No, actually, no, I don't think... I know, the thing... What did attract me to Scandal Tree was... Well, I saw the roots in a lot of, the classic pub rock. So, I heard a lot of the Angels and Akadaka and Rose Tattoo, and I like the some of the grunge music as well. But I just saw it as, well, this is music which is very energetic. I like it, and it's trying to keep, an older style of music alive, really, and bring it into the current time. So that was really the element, and just to, and I mean, naturally, just by being who you are, you do tend to bring a little bit of what you like and make it work into whatever field it is that you're doing, really. So
Jesus,
that's me,
man. That is. Oh, there's always one in the bed. I love it. And I have a feeling there's going to be another one. Can I make a suggestion for you? Have you ever listened to any Korn or anything like that?
No, not not a lot.
Can you do me a favor and just listen to some Korn and really focus on their bass parts, because your mind will be blown. I want you to just go from like the first four albums. First four albums, and I promise you, the bassist Fieldy, he basically downtunes so low that his bass parts work as percussion parts.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's amazing. It's a lot of slap bass. It's a lot of real drop tuning, finger picking, real hard slapping. But it's you will enjoy it. I promise.
Okay,
just from a technical standpoint, just talking to you'll enjoy it from a technical standpoint.
Okay. Yeah, no, thanks for the recommendation.
Grant, let's get a little bit of history about you.
Oh, how to follow that?
I'm out of here. I don't know.
Well, with me, I grew up in a musical household like this, and the music. My dad was he never played an instrument, but that's what he did for a hobby, like collecting records. And so I grew up a lot of like Roy Orbison and that sort of stuff, all that good 60s stuff. And then I think I got to about maybe 12, and I discovered AC/DC, Angels, and then AC/DC led to me all that, Sabbath and Zeppelin and all that stuff. Anything with a loud guitar, just for some reason I love the guitar. So, and I think, then for a long time I was like an AC/DC fanatic, I just knew everything about them, had every record. When I started playing guitar, I pretty much taught myself by learning all that stuff, it's kind of, it's easy to play, but it's not easy to play it properly, but it's easy to sort of replicate it, So, and then, because I'm a bit older than these guys, I think, so.
Well, a little bit. Yeah, no, you're heaps older, man.
So, like, I sort of,
you're
I was sort of 18 or 19 when, like, grunge hit, So like all that Nirvana and Soundgarden and all that stuff blew me away.
Oh, you're in the pinnacle of it. You were just hitting the pubs
Yeah.
when all that good stuff was coming out. That's awesome.
Like Pantera, I saw Pantera at Festival Hall.
No.
So yeah, that blew me. That almost made me want to stop playing guitar, to be honest.
Well, Dimebag did is as much as he influenced so many people. I'm sure he ruined a lot of careers as well.
Oh, yeah, mate. But then, like, not to like mid '90s, I kind of gave it up. You know, sort of.
What was the reason for that?
I think it was just like got sick of like every band I was in. You'd start to get some headway, and then somebody would leave. You know, you have to start again. And I had my daughter was born and all that shit. You know, we better go and find some sort of way of supporting this. You know, and so like I just put it away for a long time. Like I always had a guitar, but it just, you know, I'd bring it out and play it every couple of weeks for about 10 minutes, and then put it away. And then probably maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I just started muck around home recording, you know, and got back into it. Then the missus said, "Why don't you find a band?" You know. So I went back. Covers band. Yeah, she regrets it now, but yeah.
Yeah, so does mine.
Played in a shitty cover band for about 6 months, playing all old vinyls and bloody Robert Palmer and stuff, you know. And then these guys reached out to me and they were looking for a guitarist, so.
Mate,
finally playing the decent stuff. You know?
Oh well, mate. The rest is history at this stage. I'm going to ask Rip the same question, and then I'm going to go through some of your numbers because they're quite impressive. I have to say for the amount of time that you guys have. And I like numbers. It's like cricket. I like cricket. But so look, you guys are Grant. I've got to say, just real quick, it's so good to see that. You had the support of your wife to actually get back into it. You don't often hear that in a story. It's normally the other way around. It's like, pull your head out your ass, stop chasing that silly dream, you know? Like, it's nice to hear that you get the opposite. You know, it's a good thing. It's
yeah, she loves it, yeah.
That's love, man. That's love, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you can't do it without the support. I mean, you know, if you don't have the support of your loved ones, you know, we can't do what we're doing. You know, you're already stuff from the start. So,
All right, Rip, you're up. Give us your history, bro. Give us the stick master.
How long we got on here? I don't know.
Mate, just an FYI. As long as you want, man. As long as the conversation's going, we going. And I've got beer.
Yeah. All right. Well, geez, where do I go back to? I guess, you know, it probably started when I was about 14, 15. I mean, I saw the brother playing the guitar and I thought, monkey see, monkey do. I thought, oh, shit, I'll give that a go. I reckon I could do that. Jumped on the guitar and just all fucking hands, and I was fucking shit at it. So anyway, I actually read an article in, can't remember the music magazine at the time, Rolling Stone. Something that had a write-up on Steve Adler in there. He actually,
Kerrang.
Sorry, yeah, Kerrang or something. Yeah, there's something in there. He had a write up in there, and he taught himself, and he used to go down to the park and have a bash in the park when he was a kid. I'm not sure if I'd be doing that, but you know, he was pretty out there, and it sort of inspired me. So I thought, well, you know what? If he can do it, I can do it. So I went and hit the olds up about getting into drums and whatnot, and they told me to get stuffed basically. So I went and got a paper run. So I did this paper run, and I saved up money on a paper run to get my first shitty kit. You know, it was like $250, this shit house bloody thing. But I was stoked as I got it all set up, and then I said, "Oh, look, I did all this effort, and I got this kit. You know, can I get some lessons?" And they said, "Oh, get stuffed again." So, so I thought, you know what, old mate taught himself. So you know, what can I do? So I actually went and got a Appetite for Destruction and the tab and everything for it. And I used to listen to it over and over again and look at the tab music and then look at the kit. And then I just sort of worked it out myself and taught myself. And that's sort of where I got my start. And so, you know, I progressed from there. And then I did a bit of Metallica stuff and then Alice in Chains and, you know, all that sort of jazz. So it just sort of built from there. But, I've definitely done the hard yards to get into doing the kit and haven't had any lessons in my life. So, you know, I just do what I do, and I think there's a bit of a beauty to that because I don't have any preconceived ideas of how something should or should not be.
Yeah, but you got bad habits. That's why Joe
Yeah.
turns around.
Yeah, that's why I get those eyes. But yeah, no, well, I've been in and out of bands since I was 17. You know, just like garage bands, playing in parties. I had a mate that was in a band back in the day called Nor and the Quickening and stuff like that. So I've always been around music. He lived up the road, 2 doors up. He heard me bashing on the kit one afternoon. He came up and knocked on the door and said, "Hey man, come down and join us." There's like a whole music commune down there. So you know, it was really good. And his dad was a major in the army. He did musical tattoos and stuff. He was a drummer himself, but he never showed me anything. He actually thought I sang better than I played drums. So you know that. Because I actually sang at one point in a band that we pulled together. It was a very grungy, very angry, angsty sort of thing. Yeah, and I used to do the vocals for that. And yeah, it's a bit of a mixed bag. I mean, I don't mind singing either. You know, one of my favourite singers of all time is Sebastian Bach from Skid Row and things like that. You know, the notes that he hits. The guy from Seven Dust. I just love how the way they, like, he can do that gruffness, but he can actually fucking sing.
It's all in key. I love Seven Dust. You got a massive Seven Dust.
It's brilliant stuff. I love it. And you know, and then you got Lane Staley and you've got Chris Cornell. So I love my vocalists as much as I love percussionists and drummers. So you know, it's you can build it from there. I mean, like Alice in Chains, he's one of my favourite drummers. I like what he does. Things like that. But you know, I've been a bit like Grant, you know, a bit on and off with the music too. I mean, like I had a 10-year hiatus after the last band fell through, and it was a similar sort of thing to Grant. It's just like, you know, another kick in the guts. But I think the whole thing about being in a band is being resilient and be able to persevere through those times, and just makes you stronger and better musicians. And you know, and I think resilience is the word for it. If you can't push through that, then you shouldn't be in the game anyway. So, you know, I love music. I love what we do. I just really enjoy what we do. I'm really passionate about it, and I hope it shows in the EP and all that sort of stuff that's out there. I mean, like I love working with Grant. Joe's only been around a short time. I love working with Joe. I think we collaborate really well, and we pull out some wonderful tunes, and I just really enjoy it. I mean, like if it's not about the music, then why the hell are you in the game? I mean, that's what it's not about whether you go viral, whether you're streaming what this band's doing, what this person's doing. You run your own race, you know, and as long as you're enjoying what you're doing and you're going into that studio and you're loving what you do with the guys that are in that room, then that's all that should matter. And I think that's what I learned at the end of the day after all this. And, you know, same as Grant, you know, the wife suggested I get back into it, and I got back into it and I haven't looked back since. And it just makes me feel alive, I guess.
Mate, it's the game. The game is a very fickle thing, and I couldn't agree more. Walking out on stage and getting together with the boys and doing all that stuff, you know, when I done it, it was some of the best days, and I still look back on them now, and I just think, even though, you know, a lot of those shows, there was no one there and stuff like that. The Sydney scene was really bad at the time. I just think, man, just one more show, you know, like just one more. That's why I do this now. But having that hiatus, okay, because both you and Grant sort of said that you guys have done the runs and in and out of bands, and just as you're sort of about to make headway, the shit sort of hits the fan, and you talk about perseverance and stuff like that. But coming off that hiatus, and this is a nice sort of segue into your fucking amazing numbers. I don't give a fuck, they're amazing. They're good for a local band, man. Having that 10-year hiatus and now making Scandal Tree and seeing the amount of progression that you've had in such, I guess, has it been a long time? When was Scandal Tree sort of conceived?
Well, that was Jason and I. We were in another band before called the Red Horsemen, and that just went to shit. We cut an EP and we were about to release that, and then just the wheels fell off the cart. And then we just were jamming. We were jamming at Palpitation Studios for about a year or so. And I eventually said to him, I said, let's actually advertise and get some people happening, and that's where it sort of started from. So Scandal Tree was born from that. And, we had Grant and Adam rock up, and that's the initial lineup, and that's where we sort of started kicking on. And so I think it was about 2019, if my numbers are right, Grant.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I came in August 2019, I think.
Yeah.
So we'll call it 2019, and then when was the first release done? 2020. Where is it?
2021, yeah.
2021. Okay.
Oh, no, hang on, no, because we had
2020.
the
It was
initial one where
2020.
we recorded-
It was 2020.
2020, yeah.
So, with these guys' numbers, if you go over to their Spotify, if you take the time, and you really should, anyone out there, really go and listen to them. They're absolutely stellar band. They're really good. I love that word stellar, and when I say it, I fucking mean it. So, Bogan is your second highest on Spotify at the moment, just looking at your numbers. So, you've hit the 20,000 mark. That's unreal. That is unreal. Nothing to lose. It's almost busted 40,000. You're in the 39,000. You have currently 7,989 active listeners.
Yeah.
Having a 10-year hiatus, and this is mainly directed at Grant and Rip. Having a 10-year hiatus, did you think this was going to happen?
I hoped it would, but yeah, no, not really.
Are your wives proud / pissed?
Oh, yeah, definitely. It was funny because we did the first EP with Bogan and Bottom Dollar and all them songs right before the pandemic. Like we were recording it as they were starting to talk about it. Like there's this new virus in China and stuff, and I think they shut it down like probably the week after we recorded it or something. So we got that out, and then we couldn't do anything for a couple of months. Couldn't rehearse or anything. And then when we got back, they just couldn't open up, so we just ended up writing the rest of the stuff, and then finally ended up recording it. So we recorded the first couple of songs with like Nothing to Lose and that with the original lineup, and then the singer and the other guitarist went their own way at the end of the start of last year.
Yeah.
Started 21. So then we got in, and Maddie re-recorded the vocals, and then we finally got in and did the rest of it later in the year. So it's been a while coming out.
Yeah.
At least a couple of them anyway. Right. The
Exceeded expectations.
Well, man, I mean, look, and this is the one thing that everyone that sees this later on needs to understand is that these guys sit, especially in Australia, it's a niche market that you guys are very sitting in. But the problem is it's a niche market where a lot of people are playing in it. So there's it's just flooded over here with a lot of bands and a lot of shit. I'm just going to say it. I don't need to get shows. A lot of shit bands get good spots, and a lot of good bands with, let's say it, good numbers, don't get good spots. And I think it's going to have to start getting to the stage now where your digital footprint is need to go and to get taken into consideration as to your spot in the lineup now.
Well, I was actually thinking of using that as a marketing tool because I've been talking to management because, when I was trying to pull this show together for White Ribbon, I actually went and approached the management of bands like Grinspoon and all this other stuff. And then I've got all their contacts and that. So now I sort of flip them updates of what we're doing and trying to chase support slots and things like that. But I mean, I was actually thinking of using that as a pitch because they kind of ask you what you can bring to the table and things like that. And I think it's a valid sort of marketing tool that I should be using probably a bit more to get us in there.
100%, man. Well, it's like I said, it's like cricket. You got to use the numbers to your advantage. It's all the numbers game now. They just want to see those numbers on a screen.
Oh, it definitely is. Yeah, they just want to pretty much know how many bodies you're going to bring to a gig.
Bumps on seat means they're eating meat.
Yeah. So, and that's another angle I was looking at chipping at because, admittedly, most of our numbers come from the States. So, I mean,
really?
Yeah. big following in the States.
Ah.
Yeah, I had a look at the demographic breakdown, and majority are from the States, and you're talking about LA, California, things like that. So if we went to the States, we could get people to a show easy.
Well, I'm going to do a little plug for someone else here. I've never spoken to the guy, but have you ever heard of the local band Smokeout?
No.
No, there's a guy in America. He does this thing called local band Smokeout. You should see if you can reach out. He mainly does metal and stuff like that, but you never know. You never know. He's on YouTube. Go check him out. If anyone else is out there, go check him out. It's a pretty cool dude. I don't mind his
because we were getting airplay on Outlaw Renegade radio or something because our mates Black Whiskey are on there and things like that, and he started putting us on a regular rotation a while back. As part of a regular on his station, so I haven't had much back from him now. But I mean, I'm not sure if it's still going. But for a while there, he was giving us quite a regular sort of spin on his station.
He plays blues quite a bit. Yeah.
Wow, that's good. So you guys sounds like you guys got the whole contacts thing sorted out. You guys are really starting to. You guys are actually treating this like a business, as opposed like you've got the music side down. You've obviously got the unity between the main members of the group, and now you're actually looking at this from a business standpoint. Is there sort of like maybe a 3 or a 5 year plan going forward that you guys sort of have in your head at the moment? I know we were talking before, and you guys said you would.
Year, we can safely say that next year that we're probably looking, because the digital world is where things are at. We're looking at probably writing, recording, and releasing more. Focusing on that and trying to support it with a bit of video, like music clips. Because we only got the one music clip that we did for One Way Road, and I'm thinking that's that visual and that, that's what people get into these days. It's a pop-up picture book or something. No. So I was thinking that's probably where we need to go, and probably trying to do like we get to a stage where I think we can pick shows where we want to play. Before we were just playing anything, anywhere, anytime. But I think we're sort of looking at chasing those festival slots and, playing supports for touring bands and bands that are, got a bit of a following and looking for a quality act to open or, play mid-slot or something, and I would ideally like to try and flick a tour in at some stage next year, but we'll see how we're rolling towards the back end. Be a back end thing, but definitely trying to do tours and things like that. I mean, it's definitely on the cards, but I mean, like it's a hard road, as you know, and you got to sort of get that sort of people noticing what you're doing and giving you those opportunities. I mean, and that's what I'm trying to chase down at the moment for the group, and by approaching these different sort of management people and that to try and shake the tree a bit and say, hey, we're over here, look at what we're doing, check us out, we deserve an opportunity to play a support slot with some of these acts that you manage and look after. And, I think that's where we're going in that sort of direction.
You know what I could see? I could see a regional Queensland tour.
Yeah,
and you got to do regional. You got to hit those small country towns all up and down the east coast. I could see you. I could definitely see you and Taylor Made.
Yeah.
I reckon if you and the Taylor Made crew got on and build maybe one other band, I reckon that could be something very interesting. I reckon because between you and Taylor, there's some big numbers there, and you guys have got the energy, the groove, the flow, the presence.
We played a show with them over at O'Sculligan's. And it was a cracking show. I thought it had a really good vibe and great energy to it, So
the music's great. Yeah. They go off live too. That guy can sing, man.
Yeah. Nice.
Front man too. Good front man.
That's good. Hey Joe, real quick.
Yeah.
You've only been in the band for a little bit now.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, how hard was it learning all the stuff and sort of gelling with the boys, and is there any new stuff that you've written with them?
Well, surprisingly, it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be getting the songs down. Main thing was yes, doing a bit of listening to the recordings and doing some rough recordings just on my phone of the rehearsals. But the main thing was just playing it with the other guys a couple of times, and then I got to a stage. I think it was maybe a few days or a week before I did my first gig with ST.
Oh, we just threw him
we
in
went,
the deep end. We
yeah,
just got him right
yeah.
there. Don't you worry.
And I went, yeah,
Single
yeah.
swim,
This
mate.
is
Single
this
swim.
is
That's
This is
that
fun.
old head mentality.
and I mean, so far I was very lucky. Just I think one of the last rehearsals we did, I said, "Oh yeah, look, I wrote this song, but I increased the tempo to try and get it a bit more Scandal Tree focused." And I think I was, in terms of the tempo, I was thinking of that Amel and the Sniffers song, "Some Mutts Can't Be Muzzled," but it started off as just a very acoustic blues thing, which was a joke actually. I was at an open mic and then someone said, "Oh, you should write a slow blues song about milks," and I went, "Ha ha ha, yeah, very funny." And then I was driving home and then suddenly I just got the key and I got the lyrics and I wrote it down and went, "Got it, I've got it, I've got it." And I played it and yeah, we had fun doing that. No Action Blues is what it's called. So you never know, at one of these future gigs you may hear it, just somewhere in the middle. But
I want to hear it recorded.
could be the one the audience sort of sings along to, be like,
Yes.
I'll flick you some lyrics though, Jay. I flicked you some lyrics and you put some music to that. So, I wrote a heap of lyrics. I had no real melody to it at that point in time. And then Joe put some stuff to it, and yeah, it actually made some sense. So,
Wow. You guys sound like you got this nice little unit going between you. It's like, especially you, Rip and Joe. For anyone out there that notices this other little logo on the top screen, I do another podcast with a good buddy of mine, Raf, called Two Dudes Talk Music. Shameless plug there, sorry. Go check it out. He's a bass player, and he loves spitting off the fact that, the bass player and the drummer, the heart and soul of every band, and if they're not working properly, nobody's working properly.
Yeah.
And
Heard that before.
how did you find Rip working with, like, the joining of you two as the main heart and soul of the band?
Oh no, it's been a nice fit actually. He doesn't overplay where it's not needed. Joe's brilliant. Like he reads what's going on. He's not trying to showboat, all the time. You get some of those bass players, they've got to bloody put a slap and a bloody whatnot. There's a time and a place for all that. It's the same with drums too. You could sit there and throw all these fills in and do all this other stuff, but it's what you leave out on the cutting room floor that makes the song right, and that's what makes the rhythm section too. And being able to read each other and flow with each other. I just like to keep it drive. Like I just drive it, And
I did notice with your drum parts, it's always moving. Like it's always moving in a forward pace. There's no real sort of let up on it at any point. It just keeps on progressing and building.
Yeah, I just like to drive it and keep that rhythm going, and it's always been my way. And even when I write songs and things like that, and vocals and of that nature, it's in that sort of frame of mind. And as a rhythm section, I think we click really well. And I've been in quite a few bands, and some have been really good, and other ones I just don't even notice the bass player.
Oh well, that's no good. What are you going to do? Who are you going to listen to? The guitarist.
Yeah. Well,
sorry, Grant.
Yeah, no, well, you end up following the guitarist, and then everything goes to shit, doesn't it?
You can do it.
Just curiosity, technology-wise, do you guys sort of delve into that click track? Like, do you play with a click rip or anything like that? Just or is it
recording? We do,
but nothing.
Is clicked.
Yeah, no.
Nothing. No, I go by feel and ear.
Whoa, you true old school raw dogging. Ooh.
Very old school.
Man, that's like my first bit of advice. Like, it's like how do you get tight? It's like just get a click track on your drummer. As long as they can't fuck up, no one can fuck up.
It's fun, like a,
Because I was
I
always
don't know,
like,
I thought it was pretty solid.
yeah. Oh, look, dude, drubbers are solid as fuck. But you all could be having a fast day, or you all could be having a slow day. Like I don't need that. I need a
I
consistent.
was having a laugh, mate.
You know, if like you have too many Red Bulls before you go. Like I had a drummer.
Yeah.
He'd like. I had an old before. Oh God, this guy. He'd have 2 beers and a punch of bong, and you'd lose like 40 beats a second. Like you'd lose 40 beats. Like, dude, it was so. So yeah, I'm always at having fair click tracks. But hey, whatever you guys are doing, absolutely works. Do you guys mind if we watch the video clip and show everyone on the stream the video clip?
yeah,
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
sweet. So yeah. Wait, before we do that, one other thing.
Yep.
One other thing. Is everyone who's having a beer tonight? Because I like to ask everyone what they're having. If they're having a bevy. Well, I can. Oh, you got. Okay, hold on. They got merch. Can you order any of this merch online?
Oh, we haven't got. That's one thing that we haven't really done too well with. We've got stubby coolers and bottle openers and stickers and stuff, but we haven't. Yeah, we're pretty shit with getting it out there.
Oh, love me a stubby holder. Love me a stubby
yeah.
holder. Love me a stubby holder. I'll get them online. I'll get one.
Around looking at t-shirts the other day. I was looking at t-shirts.
Yeah.
With the new logo on it, because we've got a PNG with the white logo, and I thought that'd be pretty cheap and easy on a black shirt. So I was looking at maybe a bit later down the track to get some t-shirts going, but we'll sort out what we're doing first with this other merch that we got lying around.
Do you want me to give you a free hot business tip? I'll give this free business tip to any band out there that wants to watch it. You know what you do on the back of your shirt, about this big, get a QR code that links directly to your Spotify.
Oh.
There's me stubby cooler.
Exactly. See that? That is fucking great marketing. Wait. I'm pointing at the screen like people can see. I didn't cut you. That is a fucking great. You get that on the back of a t-shirt, and when people are standing at a train station and they see people can't help scan QR codes.
I was actually thinking, you get those cardboard drink coolers that are pretty. You get them pretty cheap, and you just do it with your band logo on it, and just have the QR code on it. You go around and just throw it on the tables. Yeah.
Dude, well, that's what when I was doing the band stuff, we did this thing where all our stickers had the QR codes on them. So we'd put on the way home from gigs, we'd put stickers on the trains, and they just have the QR code sitting right next to it. It's just free marketing.
I used to do that.
Free marketing.
I used to run BWS stores. I was a BWS manager, bottle shop bloke, and I actually did posters up with Grant's the bloke who knows how to do all this stuff, but he got the QR code on the poster, and I just stuck it. And that was my point. I'd talk to people, and they go, "Oh, you're in a band." I said, "Yeah, there it is up there," and they'd scan it, and they go check it out. And they come in next day, going, "You guys," it's like a backhanded compliment. "Oh, you guys are actually really good."
Yeah, dude. I'm a fiend for that. It's not really a backhanded compliment. It's so many people say they're in a band, and this is what I'm talking about, where the market's flooded. Like the market is just absolutely fucking flooded all the time, and there are a lot of shit bands out there. So when you get that backhanded comment, take it as a full blown comment, because they're taking the time. Because it would have been that awkward thing where you would have turned around and said, "Hey, have you listened to it yet?" And they would have gone, "Oh yeah, it was good. It was good. Yeah."
Yeah, no, I mean,
I had a funny one with the kids too. Like my stepson, he's like maybe 20 or something at the time, and he came to our first gig, and it was funny. He came up to me afterwards, and he's like, "Oh wow, these were really good. I didn't know these were good."
Oh,
that's it. You guys are good.
Away in the garage.
Thanks, son. You fucking jerk. Just that. You know what? You can thank me for the rent next time. The lights will keep on. Fucking
It's nice
kids.
to blow people's minds, I think, like that sometimes.
Well, man, that's the big thing, because honest to God, looking at you, you're the most unassuming blokes in the world. Like, I'm gonna be a dick and say it. You're a dad rock through and through, man. Like, you look like dad rock, but you don't bring dad rock. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you just do it
Yeah, I'll get
really,
rid of these.
really.
Hang on. Is that better?
No. Like,
I just put these on to make me look more clever, being the drummer.
oh man, the only reason why I'm wearing mine is because of this blue filter, and I'll get a headache after looking at the screen for too long. It's got this mad blue filter in it. It's so good.
I'm only wearing mine because I'm blind.
But look, yeah. So okay, let's go show everyone this video because. Just, oh god, I'm talking. I haven't put any of the things in there yet. Give me a second, everyone. Just bear with me for 2 seconds, and I'll get all the sound in there. Okay, sorry everyone. We're here. So one thing I've always said, which you guys missed before, is that now in 2022, there is literally no excuse for any band not to make a video clip. If you have a decent phone or a current phone, anything made in the last 2 to 5 years, you got 4K, you got 1080p. YouTube runs at 1080p. You can make a decent fucking video clip. I had a band on here a couple of months ago called Sarah Kills, and they made a whole video clip, and they done it all off their phones. No excuse. What you guys have done here, and when everyone sees it, we'll break it down a bit. But you guys have done that whole, what I think will be your niche. You're the pubby traveller rockers that just want to get out there, want to do the shows, just have a good time, have fun amongst yourselves, have fun with everyone else. That's what you guys present very well in the video clip. I'm sure everyone will see that. But yeah, the video clip's fantastic. The editing in it's fantastic. Even the little stuff ups, like, yeah, when you see it, you'll fucking know it. When everyone sees it, you'll know what I'm talking about. There we go. Oh, there we go. So, I think my big question is, did you just film it all on phones?
No,
Really?
Mate of ours, Christopher Bowes. He's the film guy. He's been taking photos and doing stuff for us for a long time, and he lent his expertise to it all. He actually works. He was working on Beaverwell on the Gold Coast, some set for Nemesis or something. So he's got a bit of a background in film and TV. He's got a mate that actually does it, and he came out because he does it as a bit of a hobby. But you know, I like to try and tag it, shout him out there, and try to get him a bit of extra work.
Yeah, just one more time. The video clip was a bit loud. Who is that? Who's the bloke that filmed it?
Christopher Bowes.
Christopher Bowes.
I think I'm saying the last name right.
Okay.
So,
I thought it was Boss.
it's BOS anyways.
Yeah.
You know, it's a Bowes boss. Yeah. He'll probably correct us at some stage.
Mate.
It was more or less a phone, really. It's a tiny little.
Oh, he did the drone thing, and
I mean, it's probably the same as the phone, the camera.
Oh yeah, the little handheld thing that we did the car scenes with and things like that. Like you could push a button and spin around, and is it a gimbal or something?
Oh yeah, gimbal. Yep.
Yeah. So we had a bit of that. And he had a couple of still like camera shots, and you know, then he had the drone. Yeah, it was pretty cool, man. He did an awesome job.
Hold up, was that Joe jumping into the car?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's an interesting fact about that. The first time we did the take,
didn't get
I
injured.
really did. I didn't understand. I'm like, oh no. We want you to jump in the window, and I went, oh okay. And we did 2 takes of that, and I had a lot of fun. I felt as if I was Buster Keaton. So it was great. Yeah.
To be fair, you're lucky I wasn't in the car. I would have probably pulled up the window on the first take.
That would have made it.
Oh, okay. Because you get like, and just like even the little like the toilet scene, and just it's one thing I've noticed about a lot of recent video clips that I've seen from Aussie bands is that you really capture the whole Aussie vibe
Yeah.
very well.
Yeah, I think Chris has done a bit of work with Howser, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he could.
Yeah, that's right. Because that's what his sort of idea was. We threw him a few ideas out, and then when he just sort of built on that, and he's thinking houses and stuff like this. So, I mean,
fast forward bits and stuff.
yeah, a bit the timing's a little bit out. The scenes that aren't in the right. Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's continuity errors that he put in on.
that's
purpose.
it. Continuity
Yeah, like,
errors.
there's one less guy in the car or whatever.
Yeah.
But your singer doesn't look like he sings. He should be able to sing like that.
Yeah,
He's great.
Yeah.
He's a great sound, man.
he's got a great set of bikes on. He's a good front man too. Just goes nuts. Like first rehearsal, he turned up and he was rolling around the floor, sweating.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy gets into it.
You got to get band. You got to get gig fit.
Yeah.
What
Oh,
are you saying? We're out of condition.
No. That's why you got to practice the way you play on stage.
Yeah.
So that way it's like muscle memory. So every time you grab the microphone, your body knows what it's got to do and it's not going to crap out halfway through. Just depends on the amount of beer you drink before you set.
But one of the highlights of the video, still to this day, the Grant's guitar solo, and what I think really makes it work is that he plays it as if it's Shakespeare, and because I
the
find
bunger in the
a lot
mouth,
of-
the bunger in the mouth sells it for me, mate.
It was his homage with Slash. His homage to Slash.
Yeah.
100% it was. Like, I felt that straight away. The bunger. Oh, your other guitarist, the reverse headstock Ibanez.
Yep.
Oh, Wayne, yeah.
Beautiful guitar. Beautiful guitar.
Yeah.
Beautiful guitar.
It's funny when he first came in, I thought, wow, green Otis, because mine are Gibsons, and the other old guitarist had like Gibsons and stuff. It's like, wow, this is like a 80s rock guitar.
Yeah, well, mate, you need that. You need that little bit of modernness, like
Yeah.
because it's even got the floating road and the lock nut. I hate them things. I hate the locks. I hate them.
Yeah.
Here's the solo when they play. The solos come up now. Just I love that tank bit. Just gotta have a random tank.
Yeah. It's funny, like most of the cigarette thing was because he did a couple of takes of it, and I thought he pretty much made out like it was just going to fill my hands and stuff. I'll just get your fingers on the fresh board and that. So I thought, I'll have a cigarette while I'm doing it.
Ah, I hate man. You're lucky you wear glasses. It's always the smoke in the eyes that I used to hate.
Yeah. It's funny, like I remember my mum seen it. She's like, "Oh, I don't have a cigarette in your mouth. It looks bloody."
My mum's like that too.
Why are you pissing against the wall?
Yeah, oh man. It's rock and roll, Mum. You just don't get it. You just don't get it, Ma. It's a great video clip, man. Like, it's solid as fuck. Like, in all honesty, yeah. It's a solid video clip.
Yeah, he needs a good shout out, I think, Chris, because he did
Yeah.
it for very little money, just for the fun of it, more or less. And he knows he's really good at what he's doing. It was really, it took us like a few hours to do the whole thing, just one day.
Really? So what?
Yeah.
So okay. If you could give me a sort of, I guess, in a day sort of scope, was it like a 12-hour period, or maybe 6 or an 8, or something like that?
Maybe 9 in the morning till maybe 3.
Yeah, we finished about 3, I'd say.
See, that's what's great about getting all those candid sort of clips like that. Because as long as you get your sort of key points where you want to get your vocal overlays on, the rest of it is just all filler. You just, as long as you got good editing.
We had a storyboard anyway, so we sort of had a rough idea where we wanted to go with it, what sort of rough shots that we wanted, and then we sort of played around with that, and then we saw what was in the area that we were working with, and we just sort of workshop shots that would work. And Chris was really good with it. He was going, "Oh, why don't you guys try a shot with this?" And then the old Bolo scene with myself, and then you got Grant at the bloody droning the lizard and all sorts of stuff, and Joe in the back of jumping in the back of the car, and all these different sort of pickup scenes. And because obviously One Way Road is about journeys, and everyone's on their own journey, and we got this one sort of mindedness and vision as a group, and that's our One Way Road. So it's all of us on this journey, and enjoying the ride sort of thing.
Oh, you going off the whole like the Lord of the Rings standpoint, not the destination, it's the journey.
Yeah, well, the destination would be good, but
Hey, look, it's like I've said it so many times. If you came into this scene for fame, fortune, and money, you're in the wrong fucking game. Straight up and down. Like, go be a DJ, because it's a lot. Two things. It's a lot cheaper, and you only have to deal with yourself.
Yeah, but that's what shits me. Like, you'll play a show at Sculligan's or somewhere like this, and it'll be the DJ coming on afterwards. So I'm just going, no, bands, keep the bands going.
Yeah, man. Look, I couldn't agree more. But logistically, from a business standpoint, insurance standpoint, we're all liabilities. We drink too much, we party too hard, we fucking fall over, we tell people to go off when we're on stage. Like,
well, that's why I joined
we're not the venues. We're not the venue's favourite thing.
The MEAA, man, the union. They cover. I talked to them about it the other day, and they're actually saying that they cover public liability for us now because I joined them. And I'm also a duck for cover, so I got my gear sort of insured as well. So I got sick of cymbals going missing and stuff like that while I was out playing. So
Fuck me dead.
And no one knew where the hell they were. Oh, I don't know. Where did this cymbal go?
No one ever fucking does.
Gold Series cymbal. Who's playing those? I don't know. But so I mean, public liability is something that I've thought about as well. So, and I got a good bit of advice from Will from Black Whiskey, and he suggested joining the union and duck for cover. So I've gone ahead and done that, and it's cheap as chips, man. It's like $3 a week, and it's cost you a bugger all to be in these things, and your ass is covered.
Sorry, man. Just let me get my little notebook. What was? I'm going to look into this. I did not know this was a thing.
Yeah.
What was that called? What's this? The MMA mixed martial.
MEAA.
Oh, MEM.
Musician. It's the Musicians Australia.
Music Union.
Yeah, Musicians Australia. Yeah. So they're trying to get more people involved, and it's trying to get a fair shake of the sauce bottle. Is that what Kevin Rudd said? I don't know. But to try and get a bit more of an even playing field, and education about your rights as a musician and your entitlements and obligations of venues, and trying to educate venues on contracts and being upfront about things, and trying to work in and create a mutual so
does this have anything to maybe do with why venues are starting to charge a 10% surcharge on merchandise? I've had a couple of people on the street. I don't know. Maybe you guys might be able to give me some more information on this. I'm just asking the question in general here. I've had a couple of people come on and say that they're getting charged 10% of all revenue sale, of all merchandise sales from venues. Have you guys encountered any of that?
Oh, I've seen it before where they used to take a cut from the merch sales, but it didn't happen too often, and I haven't come across that one just yet. Not too many back in the day would do that, but
No, it's only a new thing that I've heard about it. That's why I was just asking because
it's just probably another avenue that they can see to make a quid out of someone. I mean, that's half my point. Half of us are struggling musicians, and we appreciate the exposure that we get when we get in there. But I just mean the transparency needs to be there. Like, have a discussion with us,
well, just even a contract.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, work it through with each act, with each show. I mean, some of them have a carte blanche contract, but is that realistic for the venue? Is it realistic for the show that's being put on? Instead of having a blanket contract for everyone, maybe allow that sort of conversation to happen between the acts and the venue to see what sort of, there needs to be some sort of guideline or, tier structure depending on what sort of level band or musical sort of group you are. I mean,
yeah, I think that'll have to come down to really promoters who organise stuff with venues. That'll have to come down to that because I think what the promoter is realistically the middleman in order for the event, like it's put under the promoter's banner at the venue, and then the promoter runs that liability insurance through the venue, around the venue, if that makes sense. But you guys, so you said that you've just promoted that you put on your own white ribbon show. You organised that?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So for anyone out there that doesn't know, give us the whole rundown on what white ribbon is and what you guys are trying to achieve.
Well, white ribbon. We're just looking to help out to create some awareness around domestic violence. I just think violence in any sort of format is unacceptable. So it's not even just women and children, but I think that men experience it as well. So let's not pigeonhole it into the one sort of category. But I mean, like my wife and that she's experienced that before, and a couple of the other guys have been in those sort of situations. So I just thought that hearing some of those sort of things, what can we do? It's only a little thing, but try to get a bit of awareness out there and try to raise a few funds to help out what they do. They help women and people overcome these situations and whatnot. So I just thought, well, what a great cause. And it sort of gets missed in the mix of all the other sort of things that go on. You've got cancer funds, you've got your other mental health days, and that's not begrudging them, but I think it needs, when you look at the news and what's been happening, I just feel like there needs to be a bit more of an emphasis on the things that are happening in society with regards to domestic violence. So I just reached out, and I was looking around for a while to try and find a venue that would assist, actually. And Dylan from the back room, he was straight onto it. He's an absolute legend, man. He said, we'll help out for sure. We'll say the back line sorted, the door, all that sort of stuff. He helped me get sponsorship through Young Henry's.
Oh, wow. Congratulations, man. That's very good. Very, very good.
Yeah, they were straight on board. They're awesome. So basically they're supplying riders, and I believe that they're doing a beer special up at the bar. So, a percentage of proceeds from that will go to the White Ribbon Foundation as well. Talking to the guys in the band chat group, we're looking at trying to put together like a raffle on the day for all the bands are going to bring some merch and throw it into the pool, and try and do a bit of a raffle thing just to try and help the cause a bit more and get a bit more money heading their way.
Yeah, what you should do? You should just do one ticket, get you one entry, and if you want to buy another one on the day.
Yeah, well, that's I sort of asked them who wanted to take the lead role on that, because I was going, we go on and organise the venue. We got that.
Yeah.
We got the food truck coming out, so we got Yeah, Flaming Gorilla's Low and Slow coming out. So
Man, look, I love, and if there's one thing that rockers are really, really, really good for, the rock, the metal, that whole community is going forward and and trying to assist with those sort of causes, with those domestic violence, mental health.
yeah, but let's be honest. It's the community that helps us out, and we're all part of the community. So if we can give back in any way and lend a little bit with our talent to help out these different causes, then we're all for it. Like we're more than happy to throw our hat in the ring and try to get awareness and raise funds. I mean, like we've done Yon Blue, we did a fundraiser.
Wow.
We did at the Kerwick Hotel, we did a flood relief fundraiser and things like that. And yeah, it's really nice to give back. It's not all about well, not that any of us earn any money really, but you know what I mean. But
I do.
It's nice to be able to be in a position where you can actually give back.
Yeah, well, I mean, at the end of the day, that's the aim of creating art, is to try and give back, and that's at the end of the day what, like, as much as you want to call it music, and music is art. Music is fucking art, and as artists, if your art can help anyone in any way, and that's what music is. It's soothing for the soul. It's like heavy metal for me is cocaine for my soul. Fucking, you know what I mean? It just perks me up. It just gets me ready. It just fucking.
I think it helps you gets it out of your system. You listen to something. Yeah.
Not just that, it lets you know that it's an international language. If someone else will feel the pain or feel the happiness, and that's the beauty of music. I love music. Music's the fucking best.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was just gonna say, you can go to OzTix and there's tickets, pre-sale tickets. And it's 12 acts, man. $15 pre-sale.
Serious? Okay.
Yeah, man.
So, everybody,
I want people coming out. I want to raise some funds. I want people coming out, and I didn't want to price this out of the market. And it's I can rattle off the acts if you want.
Yeah, mate, that's what we're here for.
Yeah, all right. So, Groom's Bride, they are an emo covers act. I thought it would be a nice way to finish the night out with a covers act. Ancient Remains are headlining, so they're cracking into it with their stuff. Black Whiskey, Broken Legs, Serial Killer Dinner Party are joining on that. Speed Racer, obviously us. We got Violet playing. Gutterfire, Mesmic. I think I pronounced that right. I hope I got that right. Mesmic, Profanity Fair, and Punctilious. I mean, they're fucking. It's an awesome lineup, man.
And look at that, you guys have been humble enough to not give yourself the headlining spot, even though you guys have organised the whole night. I like that.
Yeah, no.
Man. There's certain promoters out there that I've noticed at the moment that, their bands, man, they're putting on shows along like with their bands, and they're giving themselves very good spots, and they are not very good, in my opinion. I'm gonna call a spade a spade.
Really cracking acts, and it's hard to put everyone into a slot, and someone's got an open and someone's got to fit in here. It's a hard decision, and
or at least by you guys have sort of done the right thing by putting yourselves in the middle. No one can piss and moan at you, like no one can have a go at you. in the weirdest, because people don't understand. There's so many politics that are involved, and when you talk to certain bands, and their ego gets involved, and you don't give them the spot that they want, they just won't play.
Yeah. I mean, it's a charity event. I mean, like it shouldn't matter where you play. We're all there to. You're all there for a cause, mate. Yeah. I mean, you might get a bit funny if it's your own show somewhere, like an EP show or something. You might want to be headlining, but I mean, it depends. It depends on who you got on board too. I mean, like, it's having a bit of respect and a bit of sensibility for the other acts that are on the bill. Man,
100%, 100%.
Yeah,
all right, so
bands like Ancient Remains are a bit further up the ladder than us, so
this
like get a better crowd if you're going to see more of them.
Yeah, well, that's it. At the end of the day, what you guys have done is you guys are there to try and raise as much money as you can for the cause and raise awareness by putting by getting those top tier bands and putting them in decent slots to get bums in seats. You're achieving what your goal is.
Yeah, exactly.
So we've gotten into all that cool stuff, and we'll talk about the White Ribbon Show right at the end.
Yeah. I was going to say we're digressing.
But this is where I like to ask a couple of musical questions to the people that we have on the stream. So I have one main question that I like to ask, and because you guys are individuals that still know the essence and the importance of albums of each of yous, I would like to know the 3 albums that absolutely changed your life. Yeah, see. Like, I'll give you a minute. So I feel like albums are a lost art. You know what I mean? And like I miss the old like, and rock and metal bands still do it. They'll bring out a nice fucking moody album. You know what I mean? Like, and it's good from front to back. There might be a couple of shit ones here and there, but making a good album is a lost art. So what would be?
I could say straight up. I would probably say straight up, Appetite for Destruction, Guns N' Roses.
Okay.
Man, that's what got me started, and it's the inspiration to that sort of got me happening into it. I can listen to that album over and over again. I taught myself to play drums to all those songs on there, so you know.
So Archetypes of Destruction, Guns N' Roses for Rip.
Yeah.
What's your second, bro?
Dirt, Alice in Chains.
Ooh.
I had a friend give it to me, saying, "Oh, this is fucking shit. I can't stand this." And I'll put it on. I go, "What the fuck are you on about? This is awesome stuff, man." I said, you know.
There's something about those. I don't like saying it, but those real heroin-y grunge days, man. Like, it's just, you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
And your third?
And the third one. Now that's a bit of a tricky one.
You go. To be fair, I've never had 2 being given so quick on a stream, ever.
Well,
you rattled 2 off so fucking quick. I've never had it.
Yeah. So yeah, they're definite. I was going to say Skid Row, Slave to the Grind, In a Darkened Room, and songs like that. Just the power of the vocal and the song and things like that. I used to listen to that a lot when I was a young fella, and used to try and do the vocals, pretty badly though. But you know, it's what got me inspired to do vocals as well. So you know. Do you
do vocals? Do you do any backups on the drums?
Bogan, I do backups. Bottom Dollar, I sing on the EP, and I sing with Scandal Tree.
Oh wow!
So, if you want an idea of how I go, then you
right.
Get them a.
What about you? What about you, Grant? Give me your 3. I'm gonna leave Joe for last because I know they're gonna be fucking weird.
Our first one I'd have to say was probably Powerage / Let There Be Rock by AC/DC, because I got them both at the same time on probably 12th, 13th birthday or something. I remember just listening to the old school Walkman in bed and just being blown away by like, oh man, I've got to get a guitar. This stuff's crazy.
What was that? What's a Walkman?
Right. Hey. Walkman used to play with those little fucking square, those little rectangle things. You used to put your pen in there to wind back in the tape.
Yeah.
It just for the kids out there that went aren't as old as Grant.
Yeah, man. That's the crackle. It's like records. I love them.
Yeah. So that was the first big one, and then probably like. I got stuck in that groove, like I said, for a while. I was just AC/DC, you know, saw them live a few times.
I'm going to run something past you later on.
And then probably the next one, because to me, a lot of the 80s stuff was shit, you know, like a bit of the hair metal was okay, you know.
Not really a Twisted Sister fan or anything like that?
When I was a little kid, yeah. Kiss and that. But yeah, like yeah, all that.
That cliche rock shit at the
Warrant,
time.
yeah, Warrant, all that shit.
Yeah.
All that stuff. It's like, to me, it went down the toilet, and then all of a sudden in the 90s, suddenly there was just amazing stuff coming out. I remember hearing the second one probably would be Bad Motorfinger by Soundgarden.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Having a few spliffs and listen to that in the car, like
Yeah, forgot about that one.
the song Slaves and Bulldozers, and just not so much the guitars, but just like his voice.
Oh, Chris Cornell was just a fucking genius.
And their stuff just kept getting better.
It did.
Third album, probably, I'd have to say something like maybe Far Beyond Driven. This is the
Ooh.
first Pantera I really heard. I'm Broken, and I'd heard about them, and I've got to check this band out. And I remember hearing that on MTV.
How solid is his drum work, man?
Oh my god,
Man. It's
That's some power right there.
It's like Lamb of God, right? It's like Vinnie Paul and Dimebag was like Chris and the other Adler, the Adler brothers. It's just it works so damn well.
Yeah, they just locked in together, and that sound they had too.
Man, I've got to say, there's some solid fucking albums there, man. Like, that's solid. That's some solid, like, yeah, that really sits. I understand why you guys do what you do so well. Like, just off those albums, that just really sort of sits. Yeah, it's a real good understanding of why your music sounds the way it does. Very good. Very good. All right, here we go.
Here we go. All right, brace yourselves.
Joe.
Are you still awake there, Joe? You're not going to sleep up there, are you?
Oh no. My battery was
Look, very relaxed. Are you in bed?
Yeah, he's charging
and,
his phone. He's charging his phone.
You know, so, I'd say really the number one album for me would be Taylor Swift's 1989. Oh, you're so gullible.
Dude, you like what you like. I'm not here to put shit on anyone for listening to Taylor Swift.
No. Look. She seems like as a person, she seems okay, but yeah, no. I never got into her music, but look, you know, different strokes for different folks, as the old saying goes. But no, seriously.
Yeah. As long as you're not stroking it too, Taylor.
Oh, okay. But no, seriously, I'm gonna cheat a little bit and include a couple more than just the three.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's breaking the rules.
No. Look, I normally give 5, but when I say 5, I get so I do, like, if I have one, I give 5. If I have a couple of people, I'll give 3. But if you're gonna give me more and you know what they are straight off the bat, I'll take it.
Okay, so it's hard to put them in an order, so I'll just list them as they come. So the first one I'll go for is Aerosmith's "Toys in the Attic."
Ooh.
I still think it's one of the best albums ever made, and seeing Aerosmith at the Entertainment Center was really, really good. But what I loved about that album, and Rocks is another great album, but Toys is the one that stayed with me all these years, is that they had that drugged out bluesy Stones feel about them, but then also it was very obvious listening to the songs that they were really big fans of the Yardbirds. And one of the great tracks, even though I love all the tracks, is No More, No More. And it's really great because Joe Perry plays his guitar, I believe, in open. It's like similar to open E tuning, and just that riff he has, it reminded me of the Byrds. And then, of course, with that stomping piano, it feels as if there's a bit of Jerry Lee Lewis in there. And then in the outro, where I think Perry's doing a bit of that muting picking, near the bridge in the end of the fretboard, I got reminded of a lot of the Yardbirds and that scratch picking technique Jeff Beck used when he did the solo in I'm a Man. And then there's the great orchestral
Hold on.
ballad that finishes it off, "You See Me Crying," which
Oh
is
wow.
fantastic. And no matter how many times, I'd never get sick of listening to that album. And also, as this first pick, I'm defending Aerosmith because I find a lot of people I know, they just don't like Aerosmith, and I think they're a fantastic band.
To be fair, the only reason why people don't, I think they don't like Aerosmith is because of I don't want to close my yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And look, I'm happy that that was a big hit for them, but yeah, but
Look,
judging Aerosmith based on that single
No.
track isn't doing them justice.
look, Aerosmith, Run DMC, broke
Yeah.
fucking grounds. That's all I
Yeah.
got to fucking say.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
they know what they were fucking doing. You don't
Oh,
get that big for that long bobbing shit.
Yeah, yeah, they knew it, and so in terms of a second album, I will say, also the Beatles' Magical Mystery Tour.
Ooh.
Look, for a number of years, Revolver was my favorite album of theirs, and I still love it. But sort of in now, yeah, I'd say that album. And I just think it's really diverse. The production is fantastic. Of course, I mean Paul McCartney just he's one of the few songwriters in popular music who just has a gift for melody.
How do
And
you
I still learn from it.
how do you feel about the whole theory that Paul McCartney is the actual Paul McCartney now is a double? Have you heard that conspiracy theory?
I find that quite amusing, and look, you really just have to laugh about it. But sometimes it is interesting hearing. Okay, let's see where they're coming from.
Oh no!
What an active imagination.
Oh, dude. I don't know, but you know what's fun? It just whatever.
Yeah,
What are the chances they find two guys that talented?
Yeah, no, you just can't.
Sounds exactly the same.
It was manufactured by the record label. No record label's that fucking smart. All they know how to do is rip fucking off musicians. That's it. No, they can't fucking write music.
Yeah. It's
And-
laughable, really.
Oh, so magical. Oh, there you go, Magical Mystery Tour. Second one. Give me more.
So that's two. So a third one. I will say the Saints. I'm Stranded.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
And in fact, I'd say the Saints would be my favourite, like Australian artist of all time, and I find it very inspiring, the fact that that entire album was made right here in Brisbane, and it's just a pity that despite what they really did for their place in punk music, they don't quite have the level of fame worldwide as some of the other artists, even though there's a great YouTube video where Henry Rollins sings praise about how much he loves that album, and Bob Geldof, is someone else who really praises the Saints and saying, yeah, to him they were one of the most important acts of the 70s.
It's kind of like Mortal Sin in the 80s.
Yeah, and the great thing about the Saints is, I mean, it's really energetic, fast music. But what really makes them stand out is, with Ed Cooper and Chris Bailey in particular, they really love the origins of rock and roll. They worship at the altar of Buddy Holly and Elvis and Chuck Berry, etc., etc. But then they're also really big fans of soul music, Sam and Dave, amongst other acts. And yeah, they really had a lot of diverse musical influences, and it really shows in what they were able to come up with. So that's my third one. A fourth one I will say is Light.
What was that? Sorry, you just froze up a bit there.
Oh, that's okay. I'm talking Heads Remain in Light.
Heads remaining
Okay.
right.
Yeah, but and probably the Talking Heads best album. But what really struck me about that was, yeah, on one hand, they came out of the punk scene, so a lot of their songs have pretty simple chord structures, one or two, three chords, and a lot of these songs are very polyrhythmic. And then David Byrne, he has a voice like no other, and there's a great track on there, Seen and Not Seen, where the lyrics don't even rhyme. They seem to just be these stream of consciousness phrasings. And I thought, oh, that's very inspiring. You mean you can write a song and you don't have to follow this standard A, B, A, or one of the other forms or scheme. It can just be whatever it is you feel. And
Yeah, but
then you
end up with Tool, and I don't like Tool. That's what Tool is. Tool doesn't follow. I like structure in my music. I don't know what it is about music. I just like my music with a little bit of structure.
Yeah. Well, I would say
Like I ask. The reason why I do actually ask this is because I try to listen to these albums later on, because I like to see where you guys are coming from, and it helps me grow as a person, as a punter that listens to music in order to talk to people. So, Talking Heads Remaining Light, I will be listening to after this.
Oh, great! And for the last one, well, I'll this one's a tie. So, first part of the tie will be Derek and the Dominoes, Layla, and Other Assorted Love Songs.
Hold on, let me write that. Derek
and the Dominoes.
Derek and the Dominoes.
And the album is Layla and Other Assorted Love Songs.
Love songs.
And it's, I mean, most people will know that the centerpiece of it, Layla, which is, one of the all-time great songs of popular music. But the whole album is fantastic, and what I love about it is that the guitar playing is fantastic. You've got Eric Clapton and Duane Allman, but then the songwriting is just as good. It's an amazing how you get those two elements perfect, and really, very, it's a very, very moving album, and also it really rocks out, and they do a wonderful version of Key to the Highway on there, and there's another great track, Bell Bottom Blues, which love it. Yeah, managing to get the blues and work it into a pop format. It's done really, really well, and the bass playing is fantastic. I believe is the bass player on that. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, no, absolutely fantastic album. And the other one, as part of the tie, is James Brown's Live at the Apollo.
That is a fucking absolutely fantastic fucking album. I have that fucking album on CD.
Yes. Oh.
That is a fucking fantastic album. I love that album.
And so tight as well. It's barely half an hour, but just the way he powers through. As soon as one song is going, suddenly he's on to the next one, just like that, and you can just picture the perfect choreography and the way the horns and the drummer and the guitarist and the bass player they're working. It's a wonderful.
I'm so stoked. That's so awesome that you said that. Could I just ask a question, Joe? You seem to me to someone that's, when I talk to you, you sound like you're in your 20s. How old are you?
No, actually, I'm 32.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You have, you have a fucking fantastic musical palette, my friend.
That's very
I
cool.
think he's a time traveller.
No, look,
Oh,
in all
if
ser-
only.
He's come from the 70s or something.
but look, in all seriousness, especially now with Spotify and stuff like that, I mean, we were fortunate enough to sort of grow up in the whole realm of like albums. Our parents were really dedicated to having CDs and records and tapes, and depending on, you know, what area you're sort of from and shit like that. But my thing was, you know, like, I was bored at home, I'd go through my parents' CD collection and just be like, oh, I've heard of that guy, bang, pull that out and chuck it on. And it was just like a journey.
Yeah.
And I guess now with Spotify and shit like that, we've gone back into the whole sort of radio days where once you sort of start listening to a certain type of music, you start getting fed the rest of the genres that you like, and you can't really step outside that.
Yeah. It's funny, like,
Yeah.
I was just thinking about this the other day, like, sometimes, like, say, like, an album like Back in Black from AC/DC, you'd hear, say, the first song, Shoot the Thrill or whatever, and just from listening to it, if you hear it on the radio or something, you can hear the next song just about start, like, you just get that, oh, wow, I didn't go into...
You were meant to go into this song next. So...
Yeah,
this is what I wanted to talk to you about. So, Back in Black, that was the one made just after Bon Scott died, yeah?
yeah,
I think we're talking about this today, weren't we?
Okay.
probably.
Versus...
No, what I'm going to talk about is this. So, I chucked it on with a bloke at work today. I got to take my speaker into work yesterday, and I chucked it on, and we were just talking about how iconic that album was, considering that, you know, like, Bon Scott just died, and that Brian Johnson, that was Brian Johnson's first album, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like,
we were talking, and I'm like, Brian Johnson had nothing to do with that album. Nothing. That whole album was written, everything was done. Brian Johnson just came in and sang that whole thing. That's why that album was probably the last, like, fucking pinnacle. Because don't get me wrong, I love Brian Johnson. Fantastic singer. I just don't feel like he had really, like, if you have a look at after Back in Black, I don't feel like he really had much to do with Back in Black.
I think he wrote I just read his book, actually. He's just released a book, Brian Johnson.
Ooh.
And it's right up till he basically they just recorded back till he joined AC/DC and recorded Back in Black. And I think from what I read, they had all the songs ready, and he just came in and did the lyrics like on the fly, like he wrote Hell's Bells about a storm that was he was just making it up on the fly because they were like recording one song a day, and he's just like he's going back to his room at night and
What's that book called?
Just thrown out. Brian Johnson, I think it's called Life of Brian.
Okay, I'll see if I can find that. I might actually
Really
try and buy that.
Really good.
No, man, those
Like, rated albums after that too, like
those.
Better the Switch are really good as well.
Oh, sweet! I'm gonna try and get that. That was probably from Rip and Grant, probably one of the most solid fucking albums that I've gotten. Joe, you threw me off there, especially with those last two. The last one, I'm so happy you threw out. I've never heard, because I'm 36, so it's so nice. It's so nice to hear that someone else really has that appreciation for that real old school stuff, man. Because it's a lot. It should never be lost, because it's had such an impact and an influence on the way we write, the way we record, and the way we approach music. And it should never be lost, especially considering he was fucking blind.
Yeah.
And here's my next question. what are the things that piss you off the most currently about the Australian music scene? Yeah. Just give me the one that really fucking sets you off.
Oh,
I mean, aside fucking people stealing your fucking cymbals, Rip.
Yeah, I know. Oh, it wasn't me. Hey, I guess there's a discord there. I mean, like, if you're talking about gigs and venues, if we go back to that, I mean, there's it seems to be a lot of emphasis put on the acts to promote and get people in the door, but venues have just as much access and sway to promoting a show as the act. I mean, like, we'll do as much as we can, but I mean, I guess having venues in your corner too, and working as a unit and as a team to actually get people in, it just feels like it's lumped on the acts coming to put on the show to do it, and that's fair enough. Yeah, we got to pull our weight with it, but I mean, I just don't feel that you get that same sort of support from the venues.
I like that. I like that. Venues do need to do a little bit more work. We have a place down here.
Communication is rubbish.
Well, mate, we have a place down here called Frankie's Pizza, and they're about to close. They're an institution. They were.
Yeah, Black Whiskey was saying that they played there, and it was really bloody awesome.
Mate.
I don't know who they played there with, but they were saying to us that if we ever pull off an East Coast tour or go down to Sydney to play there, but I guess you just said they're closing.
Yeah,
down, so
December, buddy. Sorry, man. Hey, I just went to their last Halloween show there, and I saw Disgust. If you haven't seen that video on Two Dudes Talk Music,
the podcast that you sent me on that, there's some really,
mate. They're
awesome, man. I watched that podcast, and
man, thank you.
It resonated with me. You know, some of the things that the lead vocalist was saying with what happened with their band, and that it just resonated with what happened. It has been happening with us as well. You know, they had this hiatus, and then that they realised that what they needed was that brotherhood of people all going 110% in one direction. But so I found that very, very enlightening. But anyway, I digress again.
So, no, look. And look, that's the main reason why I try, like, me, Raf, and I do this here, and I really try and feature the bands because, and just so anyone else out there knows, and you guys know as well, while we watch that video clip, all ad revenue that comes up during that video clip goes straight back to Scandal Tree. I don't take off any of the copyright claims. All that stuff goes back to the boys because they've made the video, they've paid for the video. I'm using their content; it deserves to go back to them. So the more you watch it, the more it helps them out. So please watch. But yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that's my main thing is a bit more of a united front, with the acts and the venues. And I think that's the crux to a lot of it. It's not just, I'm over here, camp, I'm over there, this is what I do, this,
Well, the fact that you were able to reach out to TaylorMade and they were able to give you advice and shit like that just shows that. Well, like when I sent you that podcast as well, when I spoke to them boys, they are so with trying to pull people up with them.
Yeah.
Because there's safety. There's safety in numbers, and if you can pull people up, if they get ahead, they're going to pull you up. The favors get repaid in the music industry, especially when you help out.
I think they're genuine music fans too. I think because we actually headlined a gig at the Sculligans and they supported us. But I think when we put nothing to lose out, and they were like at the end of the night, they were like right in the middle of the monster and covered in sweat. They were right into it.
I don't think they knew what to expect.
Good,
but then we got up there, and I think there was a mutual respect that was sort of formed that night. You know what I mean? So,
and man, that is the community I'm talking about. But and at the same time, that's what makes everyone work harder. When you see that band get up there and do just as good, if not better than what you did, when you walk into practice next week, you're going to think, how am I going to do that? And it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Competition is healthy. Competition makes you work hard. If everyone else was shitting you with the shit, you wouldn't work any harder. That's crap. You got to have, like you said before, you got to run your own race. Yeah, you got to run your own race, but you got to look at what's going on next to you so you know what you're keeping up with. Because
Yeah,
if
well,
you're if you're just ahead of the game and you're not looking around what's going, you're losing perspective of everything else that's going on in the scene.
it's like they say, like that rising tide lifts all boats. You know,
Yes, dude,
like
that is a
it's
fucking hectic saying,
funny.
Reed.
It's funny how it really strikes me. In Brisbane, at least, there's so many other dad bands like us. I don't know if it's because technology's caught up with social media, and it's like suddenly it's like all the guys, mine and Rip's age, seem to be coming back after a hiatus. Like Kentucky Green and Black Whiskey, all these older guys are coming back and just bringing that 70s and 90s
It's a re-education.
metal back.
Yeah, well, it's good. I mean, at the end of the day, we're the ones that go, like, they're the ones that go to the pubs. They're the ones that want to go to the pubs and clubs and spend the money and watch the bands that they used to watch, like kind of like when they were going when they were younger. And yeah, nostalgia works to some point of it. It's like it's why TaylorMade grabbed me so hard. I'm like, how do you do this rock stuff but do it so different? It's like, we just downtune. We just downtune to the fucking as far as we can go, and we do it like that, and it works. And what you guys are doing here, you guys have got such. When you look at it, it sits in the same realm, but it's so different. And what you guys all can bring to the table in the long run, the numbers are fucking there. You guys are doing everything right.
Mm.
Yeah, thanks, man.
No, thanks for that.
What about Grant? I got
Right,
ribs.
what's
What pisses you off most about the Aussie music scene?
I think it's probably something that's been going along for a long time. I remember when late '80s, when I was first getting right into music, it was like the end of all that. Like we could go to just about any suburban pub and see a good band, and you had like you could see the Angels at the Mansfield Tavern and stuff like that. And then right about the time I came on the scene, that all died. And I remember trying to get a gig, especially originals or whatever.
Yeah.
It was damn near impossible. Like the pubs just all switched over to pokies.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pokey's pushed a lot of that out.
There's a bit of a scene, especially around the valley in Brisbane. There's probably a lot of venues right in that one spot. But anywhere else, there's very sporadic where you can, and it's you can't really blame them, I guess, because they just don't draw a crowd. Like you try and play some of these pubs or bowls clubs and stuff, and it's just not worth it to them to put on because it's died.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, I couldn't agree with you more, because it's like you either need to go big or go home.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You either got to pick that stupid venue and really have a crack, because those small little in between ones, it's too hard to get people there. And then A, when you play, or B, when you're playing in the one area, there's only so many shows you can do to so many people. You're going to be playing to the same people over and over again, and they're only going to want to see you so many times. And
it's hard to compete too, because especially even if you want to put $10 on the door, you go in there, you say you're playing at Sculligan's. You got places like the Tomcat and the Greaser Bar that are free entry.
Yeah.
And they're 50 metres away, and there's good bands playing there as well. So it's like really, you might have 8 different shows you'd want to see on that one night.
yeah.
You're probably going to go and see the free one. I mean, why wouldn't you?
Well, that's where venues are sort of like. I remember back in the day, venues used to do the free show, and it used to get 5 or 10% of the bar sales for the night. That's the way they used to work it. It never used to be a cover entry. It was put the bands on, get as many people as you can on, and we will divvy out 10% between all the fucking bands with the drink sales of the night. And it used to work.
I don't know why they changed it.
There's a couple that do that still, but it seems like a lot of them are just trying to get rid of the risk. So they just more or less say, give us however how much money, $400 or $500, and sell your own tickets, and so they just get their bar, and they get the bar, so you'll get tickets, but they're not taking any risk, apart from maybe not selling as much grog sometimes. But.
Yeah. But I couldn't agree with that more. Like just fucking venues taking just doing a bit more.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine like the bands in the old days, like AC/DC and stuff, that they probably play every night, just about. You could make a living.
Oh, dude, RSA laws fucked that up. RSA laws fucked that up hard.
Yeah.
Hard. Like, you think about when ACDC, they're from Summerhill in Sydney. They were playing at places where I used to go. And my dad tells me, he's like, mate, we used to go there and you just drink and drink and drink and no one would kick you out and you'd all have a mad time, but and there'd be no cover charge. Everyone would be having a mad time unless it was like a decent band, and most of it would be like back then was like $5.
Yeah.
And now, and that's the worst part about it. You turn around and tell people, oh, it's a $10 cover charge to get into the show, unless it's for like an organisation like the White Ribbon thing. The look you fucking get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll come to the door and they say, "Oh no, there's $10 to get in there."
Yeah, and then they turn around and go throw the tenner in the fucking pokies.
Yeah.
That kills me every fucking time, man. That, like, I've had when I was doing it, you tell your friends, you'd be like, "Oh man, you know I'm playing a show." They're like, "Oh yeah, I really want to see you band." It's like it's $10 cover charge. Oh, really? So my thing was like, if you pay the $10, I'll buy you a beer, and that'll cover you for $7 in the fucking city, like wherever we were fucking playing that night.
Yeah, I think it's in some ways with people are so used to getting it for free, aren't they now?
Yeah, well, I mean, considering now they can just click on Spotify and go listen to your shit and see if you're decent and not come out and... But you guys are decent, so there's no reason not to come and fucking see us. So it's just a matter of what kind of show you put on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't had any complaints yet.
Well...
Yeah. It seems to be people seem to love it.
You got the algorithm right. You've obviously got the stage presence because you got the old heads in there that know exactly what they need to bring to the table in order to get people to get through the fucking door. Like, yeah, like quite clearly the experience that you guys have inducted into yourselves in playing in bands for so long has led you into 2 years and a fucking very good fucking number on your Spotify list. Like that's yeah, it's fucking great. Joe, what pisses you off most about the music scene, buddy?
Besides your mama? No.
Well,
So-
yeah, my mum used to come out and watch my show. She's alright. Hey, my mum goes to heavy metal shows with me. So my mum went out to Static X.
Cool.
That's pretty cool.
And then my mum came out to Slipknot. My mum's
Jeez.
seen Pantera and I haven't. So she saw the last show that they played in Australia.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow.
Mum,
the pace 30 seconds.
and then Mum was in the front of the mosh pit during the last Static X show where they played with the zombie dude Zero.
Jeez.
We are family of rockers in my family. We don't get a choice. Just like my kids don't get a fucking choice.
She's tougher than me. I had to get out of the Pantera mosh pit. I thought I was going to die.
That's how you know you're having a good time, man. Like, I love that shit. That 5,000-10,000 people pressing up against you. It's like one big metalhead hug. Oof.
Yeah.
I'm not at the right height for that. I'll get all the elbows.
Mm.
And a short ass.
All right, Joe. Beside my mama, what upsets you most about the music scene?
Okay. Well, it's probably two things I find. The first one would be people and it is a music business. People screwing you over or trying to screw you over. That's can be very, very challenging. Like learning to be able to know when people don't have your best interests in heart and to be able to stand up for yourself and go, no, this isn't right. And another organization which is great is Arts Law.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah.
another highly recommended one, and I believe they're actually based in Sydney.
Okay.
They are. That's
Yeah.
correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
they are.
And the other thing is tall poppy syndrome. Which is
Sound like you're talking to right?
Motherfuckers thinking that they're too good for their boots.
There's a great story I heard Colin Hay telling about what was the final straw that led him to leave Australia and move to America. I think he was being interviewed on Triple M, and then he heard the announcer saying, "Oh, we don't have any men at work in our library, so we'll just have to play something by the police." And he just went, "Okay, that's it. Yep, I'm out of here."
No men at work. That's all I fucking hear on Triple M.
Yeah.
Bitch, please, come on. Fuck.
Can repeat.
God, they got that shit on your playlist. Dude, I really appreciate the fact that there are still people out there that really take the art in that old school approach. As much as I do love the whole new technology and stuff like that, it's really good to hear that you guys still have that old school mentality of where pubs need to take a bit more effort into promoting shows and just doing better and really promoting their brand as a venue, which is what they should be doing, which is what more pubs need to be doing. I very much appreciate the fact, Joe, that you talk about the tall poppy syndrome. Like, yeah, that whole thing. It's, yeah. The one thing I will say though is that Queensland, you all do it different compared to Sydney. I haven't really stepped into the Sydney rock scene. I've only really seen the Queensland rock scene. You guys, the support you guys throw behind each other is just so good. It's so good. Are there any bands that you guys can say that maybe everyone else should be looking out for in the local scene?
Yes. There's a wonderful band, Shakespeare and the Skeleton Gang.
Shakespeare and the Skeleton Gang.
Yes. Absolutely.
Give me like a genre, like
I'd really say it's horror, blues, garage rock. If you can imagine, there's a little bit of Jack White, a little bit of Muddy Waters and Tom Waits, and a sprinkling of Boris Karloff.
I don't know who Boris Karloff is, but I know Muddy Waters and shit. Yeah, I'm checking that out. I'm checking the shit out of that.
Boris Karloff was a famous film star, I think back in the 30s and 40s. He played Frankenstein's monster.
Okay, Mary Shelley's in the OG one.
All the way. And he was also in the I think the original Mummy, released around that same time back in the early 30s. So yep.
Well, what about you, Grant? Give me a band, give me a local act that you think everyone should look out for.
Probably a couple that we played with. Kentucky Green comes to mind, are pretty good. Fidel, what are they called? Fidel
A go-go.
they're really good. Of course, Talamay Rejects, they'd be up there.
Oh, I love them boys.
Who else? A few of the bands that were playing on with this next White Ribbon gig.
Yeah.
Delicious are great. They got a good energy.
Yeah, nice.
There's so many. There's a really good scene up here. It reminds me of here talking about that Seattle scene where it's a bit isolated from the rest of the country.
No, and that's what I'm saying. Like I managed to get myself out to Gymna Rocks last year, and just meeting everyone. There was none of that. This band's my rival, or this is this. It's just like we're all here, we're all doing our own thing. Like like Rip said, you're all running your own race, but you're just keeping a firm eye on what's going on around you.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
good. I like it. All right, Rip, give me your ones.
well, look, putting on a lot of the shows that we do. I mean, I get to talk to a lot of great acts. I'm just amazed every time I go to pull something together, and the amount of talent and brilliance out there. I don't know if I could really narrow it down to one. I mean, like, I just think everyone should just get out there and support the local scene. There's some really, really good talent out there. And I just think you need to get your ass off the couch and just go out and give it a go. I mean, Serial Killer Dinner Party, I've only just started listening to some of their stuff. The boys from Gutterfire actually said to him the other day that I had a good listen to what they're doing, and I'm really digging it. And I'm there going, shit, I don't understand why you guys aren't bloody, playing some bigger venues, and I do see that they're starting to play with Dream Killers and things like that. But I mean, they got a good sound.
Got to do the extra work, bro. Got to do all that extra work that you guys are doing.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's a couple there, but I mean,
That's mad.
You just get out. I just encourage anyone, if you're sitting on the couch and you're just twiddling your thumbs and you're watching shitty Netflix or something, do yourself a favor and get a cab, hop on a train, go into the valley or somewhere and just see some of the local talent. You'll do yourself a favor. There's some really, really good acts. I mean, even those young fellas that played with us at the back room when we were playing whiskey. Yeah, Crown. I was quite impressed with them. Like that for a bunch of young fellas, they knew how to bloody rock the stage. So just get out there and get in amongst it.
And really, there's no excuse now. Like, at the end of the day, you can get that lineup. You can then go on Spotify straight away.
Yeah.
Check it out. You're on the couch anyway. You're fucking flicking through Facebook or fucking the gram or some shit. Just go check them out. Just go fucking flick a couple on Spotify. Yeah. And if they tickle your pickle, get an Uber or a cab or a fucking train or whatever and go check them out, guys. Seriously. Do yourself a favour. Go touch some grass. Smoke some grass and just go fucking enjoy some fucking live music again. It's all out there.
Oh, it's amazing.
And we've got fortunately, we've got some of the boys on here that fucking do it very well. Do it very, very, very well. All right. So we're heading into the last part of it now.
Yeah.
I want to know, this is the one last question I ask. The one last question I ask every single band before I end a stream. What is the Scandal Tree mantra? The modus operandi? You know what I'm talking about? That cliche, shitty fucking line that gets you through every single trial and tribulation that you guys go through.
Do we have one? I don't know.
It could be like the old Nike thing, just do it, or
just roll with it, man. You just go with the flow, and as shit crops up, you deal with it. You can't waste your time trying to control everything. We just control what we do. So, I don't know if we've got a particular mantra that would define us by any degree.
Okay, I guess really, if there's any advice that you could give to any new band that's starting out,
okay,
what would that be? There's the best way of putting it. If there's any bands out there that are watching this now that are thinking, oh, fuck, I don't know if I can fucking keep going.
Easy, never give up. Just keep pushing forward, never give up. But you got to keep chasing what you want. If you really love it and you're into that sort of, you just got to keep going. Like if that's what your goal is and what your dream is, and you love your music, you just got to, like I said before, persevere, resilience. And that's
living.
Yeah.
All right, boys.
You got to be able to flex with shit.
At the end of the day, you've only got one shot at this. I mean, at the end of the day, you're in a band, like, you probably got a couple of shots depending on if you fucking fuck around with other bands. But while you're in the depths of this is your shot, and you're going to give it all you got.
Yeah, and don't let people get you down, you may encounter who laugh at you or go, "Oh, come on, grow up and get a proper job or 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 or
What are you doing in a
yeah,
rock
yeah.
band? What are
What are
you
you doing? What are you doing with your life?" And
Grow up.
yeah, because the thing is, it takes a lot of courage to put yourself out there. I know that you may be playing to the bar staff and one or two other people, and then for people to go, "Oh yeah, oh yeah, it wasn't a very good set, was it? Or I could do better than that." And it's just like, well, okay, well, here you go.
Dude, 100%. People talk so much shit and want to be like, "Oh yeah, I could make a fucking band." You want to hit these 39,652 numbers on the fucking stream? Go do it, bitch. Go do it. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Go.
Don't wait for the invitation.
Yeah. Like, we're here doing it. Alright, guys.
I was going to say, mate, what was your favourite song off the EP? Which one dragged you into the...
Well, look, what full on dragged me into the Scandal Tree was Bogan.
Yep.
Bogan.
You couldn't get much more Aussie Ocker than old Bogan.
I love it. Love it. But I've got to say, like, One Way Road, the video clip track, it's the whole thing's solid as fuck. One Way Road I love because I love video clips. That's just me. Like, I'm that MTV generation that loves video clips, and when they're done right, they just stick with me.
Yeah.
So yeah, One Way Road. But yeah, guys, keep doing what y'all are doing. You're doing the music industry a service by keeping that old school mentality. It's so refreshing to see. It is so fucking refreshing to see. Because, yeah, like, everyone gets caught up in the technology and trying to do all this shit. You guys have got the music there first, and now you guys are building off your foundation of the music.
Yeah.
I can't wait till you explode. As long as you, like you said, don't give up. You'll fucking get there. You'll fucking get there. And I can only...
Thanks.
Yeah, so...
I'd see you down there one day, hopefully.
Well, man, Jeez, I don't get out. I'm in Sydney, so I don't get out to Queensland much.
Oh, that's what I mean. You might see us playing down there.
Whoa! Hey, you guys play down here. I'll do you a feature video. I'll come out to the show and I'll do you a feature. I'll do a gig review. I'll do a gig review for you. 100%. 100%. 100%. Anytime, man. Anytime. And anytime you guys release anything and do a new video clip, please hit me up. We'll feature it. We'll talk about it. We'll break it down. We'll do all that cool shit. But yeah, please, before we head off tonight, give us one more round of the show. Dates, times, everything. Plug the absolute shit out of it.
Okay. White Ribbon. Bring the Light Festival. 26th of November. It's a Saturday. Kickoff at 1:30.
2 weeks.
12 acts, 12 brilliant acts. So we've got Groom's Bride, Ancient Remains, Black Whiskey, Broken Leg, Serial Killer Dinner Party, Speed Racer, ourselves, Violet, Gutterfire, Mesmic, Profanity Fair, and Punctilious. It's you can go to OzTix. You can buy ticks there. $15 pre-sale. We want to get people in the door. We want to get awareness. We want to get raise some funds. We want to get it out there. I believe we're only doing $20 at the door as well. So just bloody get in there and support a worthy cause. You've got some brilliant acts. So it's yeah. What else can I say? Oh, we got food truck, Flaming Gorillas. So they're there to feed everyone.
Ooh.
And yeah, so it's going to be a big day. It's going to be awesome. You don't want to miss it. Really, it's. I'm hoping it's going to be as.
We're just
as big as Ben Hur. I know. Is that reference lost on the?
No, it's not. Bigger than Ben Hur can't be.
No. So yeah, I just want to make this the biggest thing we can. It's actually our last show for the year. And then we'll start back in the new year. We're going to take some time out. Christmas and all that sort of stuff, and spend some time with the family and whatnot.
Decompress, man. Just decompress
Yeah.
and get ready for next year.
And that's just as important. You got to find that balance somewhere. And I'll tell you what, it gets quite hectic. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'll push the wife to the edge sometimes because I get so obsessed and so driven with it. It's just such a passion of mine, and sometimes I need to just realize I need to take that time out and spend that time with people that you love. But yeah, come on out and watch some brilliant acts. It's going to be fucking awesome, And
Sometimes it's 1 o'clock or something.
What was that,
What's that?
dude?
At 1 o'clock it starts, I think, in the afternoon.
1 o'clock the doors. First band 1:30.
Beautiful. Get in there,
Yeah.
guys. Get in there. Get your drinks. Get your drink on. Get ready to listen to some live music. It's for a great cause. White Ribbon, 26th of
November. It's a
November.
Saturday.
26th November is a Saturday.
Excuses not to be there. Come on.
Exactly. The change you make now, like we always say on Two Dudes and stuff, the change you make tomorrow can make the change you make today can make it better tomorrow. So on the 26th, fucking go do that. Go listen to some do it. All right, guys. I want you to give your fucking big Scandal Tree wave.
Good,
we're gonna sound off. Don't go anywhere yet. Don't hang up or anything like that. I'm gonna talk to you afterwards. But just give everyone a nice wave goodbye.
Hey.
Alrighty. Alright, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in tonight. If you haven't, go check out Scandal Tree. I'll make sure the link to their Spotify is in the description at the end of this after it gets uploaded. And also, I'll make sure I get the ticket link from Rip to put onto the description so you can go buy tickets if you wish to, if you're in Queensland. I've had a few beers, so I'm starting to get a bit slurry. But thank you guys so much again for joining in tonight. It absolutely means the world to me that you guys take the time to do this because I love talking to musicians. I love it. And the more local, the better, as far as I'm concerned, because you guys are at the end of the day, this is how every band started off. Every band started off in this situation, and not one band can ever say that they didn't ever start off in this situation. So guys, thank you again so much. And to everyone out there that watched tonight, and if you're watching this afterwards, please like, subscribe, and if you haven't yet, go check out Two Dudes Talk Music on Twitch and YouTube, and I will talk to you all very, very soon. We'll